Has Nintendo struck oil? Has Nintendo found their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Have they been digging in these mines so long that they finally hit some diamonds and stumbled up on a tremendous find? Because what they're doing with indie and these indie developers is second to none. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to front and act like indies haven't been around. They have. They've been around on other systems, even down to the Wii. Indies got a good start on that system as well. But man, I'm telling you right now, the stuff that I'm seeing with the indie titles coming out to the Wii U, shouts out to Nintendo enthusiasts, because the videos that they have been putting up the last few weeks has just been astounding, just been like really eye-opening. You know, when you hear 120 indie titles coming to the Wii U, that sound cool, but when you see the games that are coming and the titles that are coming and the style of games that are coming, and then you look at other titles like this game right here, Graca, Moly, Super Turbo Championship Edition, that was on the PS3, now is coming to the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U. Indie titles, people, it's finna be crazy. Now, AAA titles and these third-party companies better take note, because what Nintendo is doing at this moment reminds me of not the Super NES, but what they did on the NES. Because the titles are so different and abstract and have their own style. They're not stealing and taken from this. Yeah, they are getting and drawing inspiration from different games like Metroid and all the games that Nintendo made back in the day, and Sega made back in the day, and other companies, but they're taking it down their own path. They're doing their own thing, and it looks so much like the NES. I mean, when you look at Aztaz and Forma 8, like I just said, Graca Melee. When you look at Hyper Light Drifter, stick it to the man. I got this stuff wrote down, people, because there's so many. Fast Racing Neo, Super World Karts, 90s Arcade Wrestler. There's so many indie games, it does not make sense. It's literally like Nintendo stumbled up on and struck oil. Because we know when they formulated the deal with Unity and they started to hand out this kit for free for anyone that want to develop games for, you know, the Wii U, and then they showed you how to get the games up on the Wii U with the I can't remember how they say, HTML5 or something like that. When they showed you how to utilize that and showed you how you can just pretty much get the game running with little effort at all. Remember when they done that last year? Now we starting to see the fruits of the labor. Now we starting to see that while it seemed like Nintendo is sitting on they do nothing, they actually been doing a lot, because these games may not be AAA titles, but these games are fun. And they're all about gameplay. Gameplay is center stage. And I'm just sitting back like, my God, Nintendo literally is going to change the game. And they're coming in just like they did back in the 80s, after the Atari and the fold of the industry. They coming in and they're ushering in a new era where developers no longer have to try to please and stick to a certain formula and stick to a certain style genre. They can do what they please. When you look at these games, you can go check out all the games at Nintendo Enthusiasts. Go check them out. Go watch all them videos they got up. Go check out Active Gamers Life last video. Go check out all the other cats that are putting up videos talking about these indies titles. Just type in Nintendo Wii U 120 indie titles and you will see all of them, and it's so many, and they're coming out so quick. They're coming out soon, people. And it made me have to step back and pause, like, Nintendo is literally playing their cards so smooth. Because while everyone is trying to sew up and throw money at major third-party titles and AAA titles, while you're seeing these companies and these developers and these third-party studios folding left and right, when you're seeing people leaving Konami and then asking to make Metroid Prime for Nintendo, when you see other people wanting to do things and it's all for Nintendo, that makes you scratch your head and look back and like, what is going on? And I'm telling you, people, something is going on. Something new is birthing right before our eyes, and it's a subtle movement, but it's starting to kick up and it's starting to build up like a snowball rolling down a hill of snow, and it's just building up, and pretty soon you won't be able to stop what's going on. And Nintendo is doing their thing. We talked about it, we pondered on it, we debated on it, but to see it literally happening, to see these games coming out, and how fresh and how pure, that's the proper word, how pure the games are. You know what I'm saying? How pure they are. Where it ain't about all how gorgeous it is with no gameplay. You look at some of the comments on some of these games that's coming out today where they praise the graphics, but the gameplay is repetitive and boring and uninspiring. But when you look at these games coming out on the Wii U, when you look at these indie titles that are coming out left, right, all over the place, and I'm not saying that all of them are great looking, but a majority of them are. I mean, I'm really looking forward to buying these games on the eShop. I haven't been downloading a lot of games, but I look forward to jumping on the eShop and downloading these games. Like the chess game that just came out. My brother just bought the Wii U, and I was sending him clips of that game because he's a big chess player. This stuff is crazy. It's literally like Nintendo has been digging in this ground, and it seemed like they was retarded. It seemed like they was out their mind. It seemed like they didn't know what they was doing, and all of a sudden, all just started sprouting out of the ground. And it is crazy. So right now, people, I can't do nothing but sit back and admire what the Wii U and what Nintendo, Iwata, and the rest are doing. They're literally changing the course of the gaming industry. They're literally introducing you to the next wave of developers. And I know we have said that, but to see it being realized before my eyes is on a whole nother level. Kudos to Iwata. Kudos to Nintendo. Kudos to anybody who came up with the ideal of the Unity deal and how they signed it. I remember when Mr. L Live 08 used to debate back on his old podcast with Zaire and Shaner, and he used to talk about the Unity deal. It's only going to get better, people, because right now these folks are fresh to designing games. A lot of them are just, inspired by old games from the back in the day, and they're doing their thing. But wait till they really get their footing under them. Wait till they really start to understand really what they have at their disposal. Wait till about another year or two what the indies are going to be doing. It's going to be crazy. Welcome to the real next level in gaming. And it's starting with the indies, and Nintendo has already did their thizzle. Now look at this. I don't know what's going on with Sony. There's a lot of things going on with Sony, but I noticed that Sony is taking note of what Nintendo is doing as well, because they just allowed one of their engines to be used and given to indie developers. That should tell you that Nintendo has struck oil. And while others were talking indie, and talking about getting indie titles to their system, Nintendo actually was really doing that. And they wasn't playing. We just was not really paying attention like I won't say we were, but the industry really wasn't. And now that we're starting to see the fruits of their labor, people, I'm eating this fruit up just like grapes on a good, cool spring day like today is. But with that being said, stay tuned to my next video. I'm starting a new series called What If? Let me say that again. What if? And the first one will be, what if Retro Studios would have made a FPS instead of DKC Tropical Freeze? That's my first What If, and I will explain it in that video, and that will be uploaded today as well. But Nintendo and the indie movement, people, I know Shokyo got his movement for Nintendo, but right now Nintendo has a movement going on, and it's called Indies. Because they doing their thing right now, and I'm sitting back with a smile on my face, really appreciating and admiring what these guys are doing. And I'm really, as a Nintendo fan, pleased with what I'm seeing. It's a breath of fresh air. These are the type of games that I like playing. You know, action games, puzzle games, you know, strategy games. You know what I'm saying? Just everything that these games represent is beautiful. And I will show you, you know, I'll plug this right there in my next video. But anyway, like, subscribe, and continue to follow. Deuces.